On behalf of the Military Officers Association of America, the United States Navy League, Marine Corps League, Coronado Detachment, and the Veterans of Foreign Wars, we will begin the Memorial Day service. Cadet Chief Petty Officer Morgan Ian, present the colors. Mrs. Jo Beth Cosgrove will now sing the National Anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the last match we watched was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, those bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ready, cut. Order, colors.
Cadet Chief Petty Officer Morgan Ian, retire the colors.
Right, face, forward, march, left, 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 right, left, 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 right, 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 left, drop step, march.
Lieutenant Heath Taylor, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy, please deliver the invocation.
Let us pray. Father in heaven, we come before you on this day of remembrance to invite your presence into our midst. We stand here in this moment, humbled and in awe of the courage and heroism demonstrated by the men and women who have gone before us and given their lives to protect the freedoms we currently enjoy. You, O God, have been with us from the foundation of the world, and you promise to be with us until the end of time. You were with us on the shores of Tripoli and in the halls of Montezuma. You were with us as our nation turned brother against brother and bled on the battlefields of the Civil War. You did not forsake us, but your spirit was with us in the brutal conditions in the trenches of World War I. You were with us, O God, as we landed on the shores of Iwo Jima and Okinawa, and you were with us as we shivered in Korea, at Incheon, the Chosin River Reservoir, and Bataan. You stood beside us as we bled, died, and aided our wounded during fierce firefights in the jungles of Vietnam. You continue to bring your comfort to us in the deserts of Iraq and the rugged mountains of Afghanistan. You, O Lord, are our refuge and eternal source of strength, and ever-present help in time of trouble. So we will not fear. Even as the earth gives way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, You've enabled us to be always ready, always faithful, and always first to the fight when called upon for duty. As we humble ourselves before your countenance, you lift us up with your mighty right hand. As we remember today those fallen that have gone before us, I ask that you continue to watch, keep, and bless those gathered here today, as well as those in forward deployed and hostile territories around the globe. Help us to serve one another and our nation well, according to the honor, courage, and commitment we confess as creed. God bless our military and this great country, both now and forevermore. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Colonel Brandon Conway, United States Marine Corps, will now deliver General Logan's General Order number 11.
Good morning. As many as 25 places claim holding the first Memorial Day, but Waterloo, New York is given official recognition as the birthplace of what was then called Decoration Day. They held their first service on May 5th, 1866, honoring local veterans who had lost their lives in the war between the states. Major General John A. Logan, the commander of a national organization of Union veterans called the Grand Army of the Republic, took these local observances nationwide on 5 May 1868 when his General Order number 11 was published. I will now read General Logan's General Order number 11. Firstly, the 30th day of May, 1868, is designated for the purpose of strewing with flowers, otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion, and whose bodies now lie in almost city, village, and hamlet churchyard in the land. In this observance, no form of ceremony is prescribed, but post and comrades will, in their own way, arrange such fitting services and testimonials of respect as circumstances may permit. We are organized, comrades, as our regulations tell us, for the purpose, among other things, of preserving and strengthening those kind and fraternal feelings which have bound together the soldiers, sailors, and Marines who are united to suppress the late rebellion. What can aid more to assure this result than by cherishing tenderly the memory of our heroic dead, who made their breasts a barricade between our country and its foes. Their soldier lives were the reveille of freedom to erase in chains, and their deaths the tattoo of rebellious tyranny in arms. We should guard their graves with sacred vigilance. All that the consecrated wealth and taste of the nation can add to their adornment and security is but a fitting tribute to the memory of our slain defenders. Let no wanton foot tread rudely on such hallowed grounds. Let pleasant paths invite the coming and going of reverent visitors and fond mourners. Let no vandalism of avarice or neglect, no ravages of time testify to the present or to the coming generations that we have forgotten as a people the cost of a free and undivided republic. If other eyes grow dull and other hands slack and other hearts cold in the solemn trust, ours shall keep it well as long as the light and warmth of life remains to us. Let us, at the time appointed, gather around their sacred remains and garland the passionless mounds above them with the choicest flowers of springtime. Let us raise above them the dear old flag they saved from dishonor. Let us, in this solemn presence, renew our pledges to aid and assist those whom they've left among us, a sacred charge upon a nation's gratitude, the soldiers and sailors, widow and orphan. Secondly, it is the purpose of the Commander-in-Chief to inaugurate this observance with the hope that it will be kept up from year to year, while a survivor of the war remains to honor the memory of his departed comrades. He earnestly desires the public press to call attention to this order and lend its friendly aid in bringing it to the notice of comrades in all parts of the country in time for simultaneous compliance therewith. Lastly, department commanders will use every effort to make this order effective. Signed, N.P. Chipman, Adjutant General, Grand Army of the Republic, this 5th day of May, 1868, by order of John A. Logan, Commander-in-Chief.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Richard Bailey, Mayor of the City of Coronado.
Good morning. On behalf of the City Council of the City of Coronado, it's my honor to issue the following proclamation. Whereas, in May 1868, Major General John Logan called for a nationwide day of remembrance to pay tribute to those who gave their lives serving our country, which would officially be designated Memorial Day by Congress. And whereas these United States of America continues to honor its war dead, from the American Revolution to the Vietnam War to the International War on Terrorism, and all the foreign conflicts that have demanded that the American military fight against tyranny, aggression, and terrorism. And whereas on this day, Coronado joins cities and towns throughout our nation, dedicating May 31st, 2021 as Memorial Day to honor and memorialize the fallen heroes of our armed forces. And whereas Americans, it is our duty to also acknowledge the men and women from our community and from communities across the country who are serving and who have served, as well as those who made the supreme sacrifice in giving their lives in service to this country. And whereas this community is thankful for the efforts of the Coronado Veterans of Foreign War, Post 2422, the Silver Strand chapter of the Military Officers Association of America, the Coronado Council of the Navy League, the Marine Corps League, Coronado Detachment, and to others who joined to organize this annual tribute and ceremony. Let each of us offer a silent prayer to our fallen heroes and comrades in arms. On behalf of the City Council of City of Coronado, I do hereby recognize and proclaim May 31st, 2021 as Memorial Day in Coronado.
Mayor Bailey, on behalf of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Military Officers Association of America, the Coronado Council of the United States Navy League, Marine Corps League, Coronado Detachment, and those who have gone before us, we thank you, the City Council and the citizens of Coronado, for your recognition. Please stand. Captain John Nolan, United States Navy retired, will now deliver the scripture passage, the 23rd Psalm.
Good morning. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepared a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Please take your seats. Colonel Ellinger will now recognize our active duty veterans and introduce our guest speaker.
Good morning. It's hard to believe that we are approaching the 20th anniversary of the September 11 attacks on our great nation. That date, for many of us who wear the uniform, was a call to war. That date was the beginning of combat operations around the globe that continue to this day. To the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and my fellow Marines who have deployed since September 11, 2001, and who have fought in places like Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria. To those who raised their hand and said, "Send me, I'll go," thank you, and Semper Fidelis. Today's guest of honor is Vice Admiral Roy Kitchener, Commander, Naval Surface Forces, Naval Surface Force, U.S. Pacific Fleet. A native of Trumbull, Connecticut, Admiral Kitchener graduated from Unity College in 1984 with a BA in Political Science. He attended the Navy Officer Candidate School in Newport, Rhode Island, and received his commission in 1985. He also attended the Naval Postgraduate School, where he specialized in Western Hemisphere Studies and earned a Master in National Security Affairs. As a surface warfare officer, he deployed around the world and commanded destroyers, cruisers, and an expeditionary strike group. At sea, he served as a division officer aboard USS Dewey, operations and training officer for Special Boat Unit 26, Republic of Panama, combat system and weapons officer aboard USS San Jacinto, executive officer, USS Cowpens, and operations officer and chief of staff for Commodore Carrier Strike Group 11. He commanded USS John Paul Jones and USS Higgins during the Navy Sea Swap Initiative, and also commanded USS Princeton and Expeditionary Strike Group 2. Ashore, Admiral Kitchener served as the Surface Warfare Director, its Naval Surface Fire Support Program Officer on the staff of the Chief of Naval Operations, Combat Systems Instructor at Surface Warfare Officer School, Ballistic Missile Defense Operations Chief in the Cheyenne Mountain Directorate at U.S. Northern Command, and Vice Commander of Naval Mine and Anti-Submarine Warfare. He served as Chief of Staff at numerous commands to include Commander U.S. 3rd Fleet, Commander Naval Surface Forces, Naval Striking and Support Forces, NATO, U.S. Military Representative to NATO Military Committee, and most recently, he was Commander Surface Forces, U.S. Atlantic Fleet. Admiral Kitchener assumed his current duties on August 3rd, 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, Vice Admiral Roy Kitchener.
Thank you for that introduction, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Gold Star families, service members past and present, and all the guests here today. First, I'd like to thank VFW Post 2422 for hosting this ceremony, and to you, Mayor Richard Bailey, for representing the city of Coronado. I'm humbled to be here as we honor those who gave their lives protecting this country. As Colonel Conway shared, long before we established this national holiday, Americans deeply revered the sacrifices of their fallen soldiers. Many of those men and women died fighting for a world they were never able to experience, a set of freedoms and a way of life in which they put so much faith. They were willing to die so others may experience it. Since its inception, Memorial Day has evolved into so much more than a tribute to Civil War soldiers. It's not just a couple of days off from work or a beautiful day for a picnic. It is much, much deeper than that. It is a day when we take time, like all of you are doing right now, to remember all who died in service and what they did for our great country. While I was stationed in Europe a few years ago, I had the unique privilege of speaking at a number of Memorial Day services. Each time, I was humbled to see the varied groups of people who came together across such stark differences to remember the men and women from the United States who fought and died in defense of their liberty on their soil. Liberty not only for this nation, but for others too. Those alliances with our brothers and sisters abroad remind me that the United States continues to symbolize hope and freedom for so many, even outside our borders, and the experience solidified my reverence for the meaning behind this holiday. I was reminded of the indelible impact those individuals had on the world in which we live today, and I refocus my commitment to continue their work. We would be remiss not to reflect on their sacrifices that undoubtedly shape the world we live in today, a world in which we can never take for granted the freedoms and the peace we are lucky to have. Laying down one's life for freedom's sake is an act that all our service members must contemplate and come to terms with. Though our loved ones pray we never encounter it head on. And as a volunteer military, we ask people to serve despite that distinct possibility. Still, millions have raised their right hand to take the oath. Millions of people have felt strongly enough to shoulder that burden for those who cannot. When I think of the more than 1.2 million people who have died in battle for our nation, I'm reminded that they were once just like all of us. They came from all corners of this country, in some cases, other countries, and they believed in our values enough to serve and take that risk. I'm particularly moved by the story of one Marine, born in 1983, who grew up in Auburn, California, near Sacramento. This young man, he didn't come from soldierly stock. His grandfather was an immigrant from Italy and a hotel barber who he once claimed that he cut Richard Nixon's hair. His father worked in real estate and construction. Camping, fishing, baseball, football, golf, and a golden retriever were this young man's passions growing up. In high school, he felt the pull to adventure and the call of duty to his country. 9/11 motivated him further, and he asked his father to sign his paperwork allowing him to enlist in the Marines at the age of 17. But his father, he refused, wouldn't let him do it. But the die was set, and the following year, at only 18 years old, he enlisted in the Marine Corps and arrived right here in San Diego for boot camp. This young man, he struggled at first. Within a year, he seemed to have fumbled his chance that he was given. He was AWOL, and then admitted to more unsoldierly conduct. He was demoted in rank, but begged to stay, and the Marine Corps agreed. That summer, he deployed to Iraq with his unit, 3rd Battalion, 1st Marine Regiment. This black-haired, blue-eyed warrior quickly became a fierce and accomplished fighter. He was a natural leader, totally selfless, always the point man in the squad. He was the first through every door. Comrades boasted how his platoon cleared an entire house, except one room, guarded by an ominous metal door. He went first and was thrown back by the concussion grenades tossed out by the jihadists inside. He returned fire until all others arrived and the insurgents were wiped out. Through battlefield promotions, he regained the rank he lost stateside, and despite being wounded repeatedly along his 2 tours, he declined to leave the front lines. He was eventually ordered to a field hospital from which he promptly fled to rejoin his comrades in battle. His loyalty and love he saved for his comrades in arms and his fiancée, a Marine sergeant. When he heard that his platoon was returning for a 3rd tour of duty in Iraq, he asked how he could go rather than leave the Corps, which he was preparing to do. He was told he didn't need to deploy again. He'd earned the rank no one thought he could, fought in the biggest battle in decades, and had a good life waiting for him at home. But he persisted. On July 30th of 2007, Corporal Sean Stokes was killed near Fallujah while investigating a site where an improvised explosive device had detonated the day before. He was 24 years old. Stokes was assigned to the 3rd Battalion, 1st Marine Regiment, 1st Marine Division, 1st Marine Expeditionary Force right here at Camp Pendleton. On February 6, 2008, Corporal Stokes was posthumously awarded the Silver Star for his actions during the Battle of Fallujah. He was only the 3rd private to receive this medal in 40 years and the 1st in this war. Corporal Stokes, he was no different from any of us gathered here today to remember him and the others who gave their lives. He was a son greeting his father and mother upon return from a tour in Iraq. He was a grandson posing for a picture with his grandmother, a brother and a friend always looking out for his loved ones, and a fiancé meant to return home to his future wife. But along the way, Sean Stokes became a selfless and courageous warrior who could not faithfully leave the burden of the fight to his fellow Marines. It was a burden he was compelled to share, and it was a burden he died carrying. Stories like that of Corporal Sean Stokes live on, and they speak to the unwavering dedication of the brave men and women in our armed forces who have paid for the freedom we enjoy today and every day in America. We will never forget them. The plaque in this park reads, "Freedom isn't free." Though we can never repay the debt we owe to these brave men and women, we can and we will honor them by remembering their lives and committing to reflect on the past as we carry on in their place. Colonel Conway read from General Order Number 11 that posts and comrades will, in their own way, arrange such fitting services and testimonials of respect, which the people of Coronado have done by memorializing our fallen heroes here in this park, and which families and friends will do by paying tribute today. I'm thankful and proud to be part of this community which so ardently honors that sacrifice. I will leave you these words from President Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did. It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated to the unfinished work which they who fought have thus far so nobly advanced. You may not remember my words here today, but we will remember the sacrifices of our fallen service members today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Vice Admiral Kitchener. We deeply appreciate your presence here today. Again, we thank you very much. We will now place our tributes on the memorial platform beneath the flagpole. Only those persons or organizations that have requested a presentation will be called. We will start with the VFW officers, the Silver Strand Chapter of the Military Officers Association of America, the United States Navy League, and the Marine Corps League Coronado Detachment. I will call two names or organizations for your presentations. Start with VFW Post 2422 and the VFW Auxiliary President. Mrs. Audrey Smock, Madam President of the Auxiliary to the Veterans of Foreign War, present your tribute. On behalf of the Auxiliary, Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States, Madam President places this emblem of eternity. The blue flowers bespeak life everlasting. Thus do we immortalize the brave deeds of our soldiers, sailors, and Marines who have given their lives on land, on sea, and in the air. Captain John Nolan, Veterans of Foreign Wars, General Henry Star, Post 2422, Coronado. Captain Nolan, present your tribute. On behalf of our glorious republic, for whose integrity our comrades enlisted and served, Commander places the flag of the nation. The flag of our country was theirs to defend. Its glorious colors shall wave over them in death as in life, for everyone to behold. Captain Bob Grelio, United States Navy retired, and Captain Glenn Welch, United States Navy retired. Captain Bob Brelio, United States Navy retired, President Silver Strand Moa, present your tribute. The members of the Silver Strand Chapter of the Military Officers Association of America present this tribute in honor of all Gold Star mothers and Gold Star wives, and in the memory of the Armed Forces members we personally knew who gave and are still giving their lives that we might live in peace and freedom. We salute those who have gone before us as well as those who are carrying America's torch today. Captain Glenn Welch, President of the Coronado Council of the United States Navy League, present your tribute. The Coronado Council of the United States Navy League paused to remember the sacrifices of the Navy and Marine warriors, those men and women who fought and won as a band of brothers. Flags are folded for our many service warriors who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Our hearts and prayers are with them as we remember with this simple tribute, white roses, and salute the gallant service to this great land of liberty and freedom. Colonel Chris Ellinger and Mr. Ted Crone. Colonel Chris Ellinger, Commanding Officer of the Marine Corps League Coronado Detachment. Present your tribute. Tribute to fallen Marines. From the halls of Montezuma to the mountains of Afghanistan, the United States Marines have made the ultimate sacrifice for our great nation. We will never forget your honor, courage, and commitment to your fellow Marines. You were with us then, and you are with us now. Your selfless dedication to duty allows us to prosper as a nation today. We make this tribute to our fallen brothers and sisters of the United States Marine Corps. Semper Fidelis. We have two Gold Star mothers in our community, Commander Kate Crone and Mrs. Beth Cabner. Mrs. Kate Crone is here today. Commander Ted Crone will make the presentation to honor their son, Ensign Christopher Crone. Please present your tribute. Navy Ensign Christopher Crone died September 6, 2000, when his T-37 crashed near Vance Air Force Base. He grew up in Coronado and was a 1995 graduate of Coronado High School. He was part of the NROTC unit at the George Washington University, where he received his degree and his commission. His parents are Ted and Kay Crone, who are both retired Navy commanders. Commander Crone, a Gold Star mother, is here today to honor her son and all those who have lost their lives in service to their country. Kathy, Brendan, Heather, and Greg Prout, and Brooke Clark Keating, Deanne, and Charles Keating III. We also have 4 Gold Star wives in our community. Mrs. Kathy Prout, Mrs. Teresa Jones, Mrs. Terry Gardella, and Mrs. Brooke Clark Keating. Mrs. Kathy Prout and Mrs. Brooke Clark Keating are in attendance today. We cannot express enough our heartfelt gratitude for the sacrifices their families have blessed us with. Mrs. Prout, Brendan, Heather, and Greg, please present your tribute. Rear Admiral James G. Prout III, known as Jay, was born in Boston on January 21, 1944, and grew up in Andover, Massachusetts. On May 17, 1995, 2 F-18 Hornets left Miramar Naval Air Station en route to St. Louis, Missouri, carrying Rear Admiral J. Prout in the back seat of one of the jets. The plane he was in crashed, killing both the pilot and Rear Admiral Prout. At the time of his death, he was commander of Cruiser Destroyer Group 3 with the USS Carl Vinson as his flagship and had served our nation for 29 years. The Admiral graduated from the prestigious Phillips Exeter Academy in New Hampshire, Naval Academy, and Harvard University Kennedy School of Government. He served in Vietnam, where he operated with Navy SEALs, Operation Game Warden, on the Nha Tran River. He was injured by a rocket-propelled grenade shrapnel in the throat and chest while on a SEAL UDT mission, receiving the Purple Heart and Bronze Star with Combat V. He became an admiral in 1993 and served as Deputy Chief of Staff for the Commander of the Pacific Fleet in Hawaii. Rear Admiral Prout's banner was the first to be displayed on Coronado's Avenue of Heroes. Members of the Keating family will make the presentation to honor their husband, son, brother, Chief Special Warfare Operator Charles Keating IV. Present your tribute. Chief Special Warfare Operator Charles Keating IV, 31, of Coronado, California, was killed in action defending the United States of America and all that it stands for. God bless America. Lieutenant Moki Martin, Lieutenant Commander Chuck Chaldekas, Lieutenant Bill Lipman, and GMG-2 Tom Leonard, Captain Greg Keithley, Captain Roger Welch. Making the presentation for all frogmen and seals who have fallen in defense of this great nation, this great country, are Lieutenant Moki Martin, Vietnam Direct Action Platoons. Lieutenant Commander Chuck Chaldekas, Vietnam Advisor, Direct Action Platoons. Lieutenant Bill Lipman, Direct Action Platoons. And GMG-2 Tom Leonard, Direct Action Platoons. Gentlemen, please present your tribute. We honor all of those who have served and fallen in naval special warfare in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf Wars, Iraqi War, and Afghanistan War. Included are the Scouts and Raiders, the Naval Combat Demolition Units, the Underwater Demolition Teams, the SEAL Teams, the Boat Support Units, and the Special Warfare Combatant Crewmen. From Normandy beaches, the Pacific Islands, the Incheon Landing, Vietnam Delta, the deserts of Iraq, and the mountains of Afghanistan, the frogmen, SEALs, and Special Warfare Combat Crewmen have carried their special operations to the enemy. Trained on the beaches of Coronado and Little Creek, Virginia, these warriors have made that conscious decision to put other lives ahead of their own. They have bravely answered their nation's call and paid the ultimate sacrifice. Today we honor you by paying tribute to every member of Naval Special Warfare that has given the ultimate sacrifice. Hearty hoo-yah, teammates. Captain Greg Keithley, United States Navy retired, Executive Director for the Tailhook Association, and Captain Roger Welch, United States Navy retired, Executive Director for the Tailhook Educational Foundation, United States, present your tribute. The members and sponsors of the Tailhook Association and the Tailhook Educational Foundation present this tribute to honor all tailhook naval aviators who gave their lives and who are still giving their lives that we might live in peace and freedom. We salute those who have gone before us, as well as those who are carrying America's tailhook naval aviation torch today. Edmund B. Taylor III, Tracy Taylor, Mallory Joan Taylor, Dallas Richard Taylor, Lou Ponder, Anna, Olivia, and Daisy Buell. Edmund B. Taylor III, Tracy Taylor, and Mallory Joan Taylor, and Dallas Richard Taylor will honor their father, grandfather, Captain Edmund B. Taylor, Jr. Present your tribute. Captain Edmund B. Taylor was assigned as Chief of Staff on Flotilla 2 to command a cruiser destroyer group 7th Fleet. On May 8, 1972, he was a passenger aboard a helicopter attempting to make a night landing on the fantail of the USS Providence, CLG-6. The helicopter crashed and fell overboard. Captain Taylor, Admiral Robinson, and Lieutenant Commander Lever were lost in the crash and their remains were never located. They are listed with honor among the missing in action because no remains were found. Lou Ponder, Anna, Olivia, and Daisy Buell present your tribute. Specialist Robert Ponder, United States Army from Hamilton, Ohio, was stationed out of Schofield Barracks, Hawaii. Robert was with the 2nd Battalion, 27th Infantry Regiment, Wolfhounds, 25th Infantry Division, Tropic Lightning. With his twin, he was stationed at Naval Air Station North Island, Coronado, and always held a special place in his heart. He loved relaxing and body surfing on Gator Beach, and Village Pizza was his favorite place to eat when he was in town. Specialist Ponder passed on June 4, 2009, shortly after deploying back to Iraq on his second 15-month tour. Aloha, Bobby. We love you. We miss you. And mahalo. Platoon Sergeant Tom Rice, Army 101st Airborne Parachute Infantry. Platoon Sergeant Tom Rice, Army 101st Airborne Parachute Infantry, presents this tribute of the commemorative red poppies of Flanders Field in honor of the brave Screaming Eagles who he fought alongside in World War II, and to salute all the brave paratroopers of the 101st Airborne who have continued carrying America's torch of freedom today. Sergeant Rice presents your tribute. Thank you, sir. Grace Bell of Girl Scout Troop 6561. Please present your tribute. Coronado Girl Scouts honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving in the United States Armed Forces. We are forever grateful for you and promise to continue to follow your lead in making the world a better place. Please stand. Corporal Watson, present honors.
With a magazine of blank ammunition. Load! Ready! Hey! Hold! Ready! Hey! Hold! Ready!
Mrs. Jo Beth Cosgrove will now lead in the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light up above. From the mountains to the prairies and the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Lieutenant Heath Taylor, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy, will now deliver the benediction.
Let us pray. Father in heaven, we come before you once again this morning to remember and honor the bravery, heroism, and incredible sacrifice of the men and women who have paid the ultimate price to serve and defend our great nation. Since 1775, you have been with us in bloody battles, both in our country and in continents across the sea. You have comforted us in bitter losses and helped us secure victories against seemingly insurmountable odds. Your grace and mercies have been evident in every conflict, and we hold to your promise that you will never leave and never forsake us. As we continue today to fight for those who cannot defend themselves and protect the freedoms we currently enjoy secured for us by others, we ask that your mighty hand of protection remain always upon us. As we humble ourselves before your countenance, we ask that you continue to help us to serve our nation and one another well, according to the honor, courage, and commitment that we confess as creed. Continue, O God, to watch, bless, and keep those gathered here this morning, as well as those in forward deployed and hostile territories around the globe. May God continue to bless our military and our great nation, both now and forevermore. Amen.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank Coronado High School NJROTC, Girl Scouts, Marine Corps Band San Diego, and the Recruit Depot Honor Guard. Guests who presented tributes would like to take them home, please pick them up. Any left will be moved to the VFW to be placed at the James and Gabby Steyer Hearst Salute to the Services Memorial. We thank you all for being here. I would like to invite you to the VFW Post 2422 for a light lunch. This concludes our Memorial Day service.